Welcome to You Know Something with Dena
Hey, look, I'm just here to entertain, inform, and keep this crazy train on track.
and Tia.
Me, I'm like your live wire that is liable to like go shalom.
They're like your cool aunts.
Exactly. You're exactly right.
Fun.
I can't believe you even brought that up. That is so fun.
Informative.
It's impossible to dust potpourris.
You can't.
Sometimes serious.
Dena, sweet child. I am almost stunned. I mean, I'm being really serious.
But most of the time, not so much.
A caca. I mean, your caca and your caca. No. I'm sorry.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Ladies,
Hello, welcome to You Know Something. I'm Dena.
And I am DiAnna.
We are so glad you're here today. We want to thank you for listening. If you're new here, you've just discovered us, welcome. And we just want to let people know that you can take us wherever you go. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and our website, www.denaandtia.com. And you can wear your little earbuds, go to the grocery store. Diana, I hate to grocery shop.
Me too.
Yeah. So you put your little earbuds in, bring us up on one of your podcast apps, start playing us. It'll go by like that. Cleaning house. I even wash dishes and listen to podcasts and clean my toilets and listen to podcasts. It just gets your mind off of what the yucky, mundane activity.
Exactly.
You know, and you learn something, you laugh. When you exercise, jog through the park.
Right.
Yeah. A big percentage of our listeners are middle-aged or maybe even a little older. And, you know, they may sit at their computer and listen to us on our website and think they have to sit there and stare at their computer.
Right.
Yeah.
It's good information.
Yeah, and like I can't do anything else. I got to say, no, you can. Just get you some little earbuds or use your little home assistant speaker. I'll do that. I have a Google Assistant, and you just call up our podcast and play it. And
Wonderful.
so
Take us everywhere.
Exactly. All right, Diana.
Yes, ma'am.
Every year about this time, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame lists its nominees to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is in Cleveland, of all places.
Okay.
Cleveland, Ohio. Yeah, you would think Los Angeles,
Right.
New York. So I thought, why Cleveland, first of all? And there's a good reason for it. And I kind of like that it's in middle America.
Yeah.
Because Los Angeles and New York get all the good stuff, usually. So, but the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is located in Cleveland, Ohio, because the city plays a significant role in the history of rock and roll. Did you know that?
I did not.
Alan Freed, I don't know if you've heard of Alan Freed, but
No.
he was a very popular disc jockey in the 50s.
I wasn't around then.
Yeah, I know. Thank goodness we weren't. We missed a lot of good revolutionary times, but it makes us younger than we would have been.
Oh, I think I would have loved being born a little bit earlier. And the 50s were just a great time, I feel like.
There was so much going on. I could see you in a little pencil skirt.
Oh, me too.
Or even a poodle skirt. Can you imagine your poodle skirt?
Oh,
It would have rhinestones all over it.
absolutely.
But anyway, he was a very popular disc jockey, and he had his demons. He was kind of a wild man. I think there's movies about him. But he actually termed the phrase rock and roll. He was the one that came up with that name. He called it rock roll. Rock roll. So people kind of changed it, started saying rock and roll. And he hosted the first rock concert.
Wow.
It was called the Moondog Coronation Ball in 1952. So that's a good reason
That is.
to do that. The radio station there, WMMS-FM, actually launched the careers. They took a chance and played music of stars that other radio stations weren't taking a chance on. They saw the talent of like David Bowie,
Right?
Bruce Springsteen, and Fleetwood Mac. I love Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
So it isn't just an arbitrary choice
Right.
to be there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame opened in September 2nd, 1995. I assume you've never been there.
I've not.
Okay. I would love to go there. My ex went there, and he said it was amazing. You know, they've got like original sheet lyrics written down on napkins of people,
Right.
and
Guitars,
Yes.
outfits,
yeah, I would love to go to that.
drums. I love that.
Exactly.
Drumsticks.
Exactly. And I realize now, talking to you, Diana, and don't tell me yet, but I don't know what type of music you even like or listen. Isn't it funny how you can know somebody for, we've known each other over a decade,
We have.
and I don't know what you listen to when you're like cleaning your house. You and I both, if we had to choose one type of music to listen to, like we had to listen to it forever, that was the only channel we could keep it on, I would say we would both choose a Christian radio station.
I would probably choose rock and roll.
Diana! But we are talking.
I'm the wild one here, you know.
No, I'm a rock chick too.
So,
I get it.
I love the rock and roll. I love the Christian too.
Yeah.
I like them both. I don't want to have to choose.
Yeah. Today we're talking about secular, strictly,
Okay.
strictly speaking,
Right.
strictly secular today. That first concert, it was people we've never heard of, but it was in 1952. So we would, I don't know what we would have called rock and roll if Alan Freed didn't decide that's what it was.
Sure.
Yeah. So I don't know what it would be. So
I think rock and roll is a great term, and everybody, it's a phrase instantly takes you back to the 70s, 80s, 90s, even, you know, the 60s or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't around for the 50s.
the way the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame works, because you may expect that somebody very famous would be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and then be surprised to find out that they are not.
Correct.
But the way it works is artists or bands become eligible for a nomination 25 years after their first album release. So
Wow.
some people you'd think of are just too young.
Sure.
So like Taylor Swift is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because
Right.
it hasn't been 25 years.
I think she'd be more country.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, people argue about rock and roll. There's a lot of pop artists in there, but there's not a pop Hall of Fame. So
Right.
it's going to fall under rock and roll.
So rock and roll rules.
That's right. And Taylor Swift started as country, but then she switched to,
Oh, did she?
I would call hers pop now.
I don't listen.
I wouldn't call it rock and roll. Yeah. She's very popular and very successful, whether you like her or not.
Oh, she's fine. It's just not my kind of music.
Yeah, not your cup of tea.
Yeah.
So that's one criteria. You have to be 25 years after your first release. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame says these remarkable nominees have each created their own musical style and attitude. So you do have to have something unique about your style, impact generations of music lovers, and contribute to an ever-evolving sound and continued growth of rock and roll. So you could be great artists, but if you're kind of a carbon copy of somebody else,
Right.
they take that into consideration that maybe you're not. Until
Like
you do
David Bowie, you have to be unique.
Yeah.
Put yourself out there and be different. And then that's what draws attention. Sometimes good, sometimes bad attention. But
Yeah.
for David Bowie, I saw a documentary on him, and it was amazing how in the very beginning, older pictures, he still dressed like that.
Yeah.
Crazy outfits. But he had his own style, and it worked for him. So
Absolutely.
run
Very
with
unique.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was glam rock, I guess. And that
Yeah.
probably didn't exist before. him.
No, I don't think. I think he rocked the world.
Yeah, he was very,
He
exactly,
was
literally,
different. He was different.
very innovative. And people now, you know, they'll dress up and wear their pearls and all that like they're doing
Right.
something new. And we're like, honey, we knew David Bowie. You're not shocking us.
Google David Bowie.
Exactly. The 2025 performer inductees, who they choose from these nominees, will be revealed in late April. And then the actual show that you can watch, the performance they do, is not until this fall.
Oh.
But the cool thing is, Diana, after we go through the nominees and our thoughts about them, our memories, we are going to go in and vote for who we think. And you people listening can vote too. Every day you can vote for 7. So they take into consideration the popular vote, which is just us little people, us listeners.
Right.
They consider that vote, but then the ballots will be distributed to an international voting panel, and that's composed of over 1,200 artists, so peers,
Sure.
music historians, and industry professionals like producers and things like that.
Okay.
So they consider, like I said before, the impact on music, influence of other musicians that have followed afterwards, and the scope and longevity is important too of their career and their body of work. So someone who passed away early tragically might get looked over.
Sure.
Like I belong to a Facebook group regarding In Excess. Do you remember the band In Excess?
yeah.
Oh, I love them.
Mm-hmm.
And they had some great hits, like one after another in the 80s,
True.
early to mid 80s. But then the leader of their band, ended his life. So they can't really be considered because they haven't continued
And
to
that's
forge.
so shame for the rest of the people in the band.
I know, and they were so talented. And they did try to reform. I remember they had a reality show replacing Michael Hutchence, who was the lead singer, and they'd have kind of like an American Idol, but they all were going to replace the
Right.
singer and go on tour. And JD, I can't remember his last name, won. He was a great singer, but it just wasn't the same.
Right.
You
No,
just
it's
can't.
No, you can't repeat that.
Mm-mm,
Kind of like Steve Perry.
Yeah. Oh, he's the best. He's the best.
Isn't he?
Yeah. You can't. Van Halen did pretty well replacing
Sammy Hagar.
I actually
Sammy
prefer
Hagar did pretty good.
Van Hagar. I actually prefer
Van Hagar.
just the music. Was more poppy for me, which
I like them both.
yeah.
Yeah, I like David Lee Roth, but I also like the other guy. So.
Yeah. So their whole point of creating this In Excess Facebook page was to get them into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It was because you can get a petition, you can get people to sponsor, endorse it, like famous people to endorse who you think should go in and get enough signatures, then they'll consider it. But so far they have not been successful, and I think it's a longevity thing. It's just a sad story in history that they weren't able to continue to go on. So not everybody you love is going to qualify to be in the Hall of Fame. Okay, so let's get to the nominees.
Yes.
Bad Company.
Okay.
Bad Company. What are your thoughts about Bad Company?
I like them. A couple of good hits. Not necessarily somebody I'm driven to.
Okay. The lead singer, Brian Howe, died in 2020 at the age of 66, but there's only one founding member left that is not left alive, but left performing. That's the drummer, which can a drummer carry a whole band? You go see a band that you knew from years ago, and it's not the same members. It's just not.
It's different.
Yeah, it's not the same.
It's the same song, but different. So how did they get to the Hall of Fame if he passed away?
Well, he passed away in 2020, so they met that 25-year criteria.
I see. I understand.
Yes. I'm trying to think of Bad Company sang Bad Company, right? Didn't they sing Bad Company?
Yes.
Bad Company. I'm trying to think of another song just for people who don't maybe know that music. Bad Company, till the day I die. Okay, anyway, you can look them up. But so that's one of our possibilities, Bad Company. Then we have the Black Crows. Pretty little thing, let me light your candle, 'cause mama, I'm sure hard to handle now. Yes, I am.
Okay.
How you feel about
that?
that?
Was never my style.
Yeah, they were very popular. They originated in Atlanta, Georgia. It was two brothers, Chris Robinson, and I can't think of the other brother, Rich Robinson. And Chris Robinson married Goldie Hawn's daughter, Kate Hudson.
Kate Hudson.
Yeah, they had a child together. She's moved on to a few other ministers. Not judging, just stating facts. I like her. I really like her.
I do too.
So that's kind of I don't know what kind of rock, would you call that? It's kind of sort of Southern rock, maybe jam.
A little bit of Southern in there, yeah, at the edges.
Yeah.
I have difficulty commenting on that because I'm just not listening to them.
It's not your genre. It is rock and roll. It's good old rock and roll, guitar rock and roll.
I guess I was picky.
Yeah, well,
I
sure.
was picky about my music. But music sets me on fire. That is the one thing that allows me to escape and, again, visit memories when you hear old songs, but doing the things that we don't like to do, like the grocery store or cleaning the house. You can listen to music, and for some reason it just makes it better.
It does. I can't imagine a life without music. And I do know some people, very few, but some people who say, I don't really listen to music. That's the first thing I do when I get in the car.
Oh, that's the first thing I do pretty much every morning when
Yeah.
I wake up.
Get you started. Yeah.
I get Cujo Baby started on his little birds. That's my cat, just so you know.
Get started on his birds. What does that mean?
Well, that means like he watches TV.
Oh.
And they have the little bird things where they chirp and they go and they get their food, and he just enjoys the heck out of it.
It's like cat TV.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen
loves
that.
it.
Yeah, that's funny. And you start your music, he gets his cat show.
Yeah, and we're all happy.
They're considered Southern rock, blues rock. That's what I was trying to think of.
That's more right.
Yeah, roots rock jam band. They started in 1984, and they're still active. I think, and I don't want to be sued, but I think Chris Robinson had a little drug issue for a while, so they took a break. Which, I mean, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It's kind of expected.
Right.
It would be weird if they didn't have a drug problem, unfortunately. Mariah Carey. Now, one could argue Mariah Carey, rock and roll,
Right.
but you cannot deny her success. Thoughts on?
No, but I'm not sure I would define that rock and roll. I don't know what I'd define it as, but
Yeah.
she doesn't seem rock and roll to me.
Still rock and roll.
So just in my opinion,
That's what we're here for, is your opinion. She's 55.
she still looks great.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she has a voice. I love Fantasy, the song that she did, and then when she sings, of course, her Christmas song.
Wow. I mean, that song, she probably lives off the proceeds from that song.
As much as I listen to it, yes.
Yeah. And it's hard to have an iconic Christmas song.
It is. There's so many out there.
Yeah. It's hard to create a new one.
But you think of her with that, or I do.
That's right.
I don't know that everybody else does.
You hear that first note?
Yes.
Right. That's great. Let's see. She is still, of course, active. She started really hit her peak in 1988. She's been through some personal drama with marriage, and
Right.
her current ex-husband, Nick Cannon, has a lot of babies. He spreads the seed amongst the world.
Oh,
And they
interesting.
they have twins together, kind of like Elon Musk. I think he just had his 13th baby.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Yes,
Really?
He did. Yes, it's a very fertile young man.
So is he married? Or?
No, he we're not going to get political, but just his personal life, he has 4 different baby mamas with 13 different children. His philosophy is to populate the earth. I'm not a fan of populating the earth without a family unit. That's just my own personal
Right.
belief, but
Right.
he do
Okay.
what he do. I don't know how many Nick Cannon has, but we'll have to look that up and see who wins that
Who
contest.
cares? I ain't paying for that, so listen to my Southern coming out. I ain't paying for that.
So, Mariah, her mother was I'm trying to think just off the cuff what I remember about Mariah. Her mother was a voice teacher, and students would come to their house.
Oh, wow.
And so, I'm not saying that's why she was such a good singer, because I could live with a voice teacher and not be able to sing like Mariah Carey. But it rubbed off on her, and I'm sure she did a lot of work. We are actually
yeah.
birthday twins. She was born on my birthday.
Oh.
I think recently she did have a little struggle on stage. I think I saw where she wears like 6-inch heels,
Correct.
and she's 55.
Correct.
Her voice is not going to be as good, but it's amazing to me. It sounds great.
Still strong.
Yeah, she can't like dance around
Right.
in those heels and be 55. So let's cut her a break.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't have to do it. So
Right.
consider she's blessing us with her presence to continue to do it. All right, so we've got to think about that when we're going to vote.
Okay.
Mariana, consider her and our listeners. All right, Chubby Checker. Now that's going back to the
Wow.
50s. Let's see, when was his? He's still around. He's 83.
He's fantastic.
I kind of think of him as a one-hit wonder with Twist, right? Wasn't it?
Right.
Let's twist again.
Yeah.
And the Twist and Pony Time. So those are 3. But that was innovative sound.
Yes. Different.
Yeah, it was for that time, the Twist, that was controversial, let me tell you.
No doubt. All that wiggling around.
Sure, yeah, twisting. A lot of rock and roll is attributed to white Americans when really rock and roll started with African Americans and the South, and even gospel
Right.
growing up in the church. And so he was a innovator that white people. I even think Pat Boone might have done a version of all the black singers, which is kind of funny. You know, where he would go, "Let's twist again."
Really? I never heard that.
Yeah. But Chubby Checker's real name is Ernest Evans.
Ernest Evans, I remember that.
Did you know that? I didn't know that.
In the files of my brain, yes. When you said it, I recognize that.
What about that? He's still active. I'm not sure what twisting.
I was going to say, I wonder what twisting he's doing.
He'd probably like pop and crack and oh.
Oh, that's like me. I'm like that in the mornings. And,
Yeah.
Well, let's just move all through the day.
And I'm not making this up, but I don't have the note in front of me. But someone, it was either his agent or record producer. His wife was watching him, and he asked her, what do you think about him? And she said, he's so cute. He's like Fats Domino, but he's little. He's more like a little chubby checker rather than a Fats Domino. So that's where his name came from. And I don't think he would have been as popular with Ernest Evans.
I do not either.
All right, so
I
don't
agree.
chubby. So let's consider Chubby Checker when we're voting.
Check.
Respect our elders. That's about the only one that's older than I'm just kidding. All right, Joe Cocker. Thoughts?
I thought he had that one hit that was fantastic, but I didn't really follow him a whole lot.
Yeah, he actually covered, with a little help from my friends, the Beatles song.
Okay.
What do you think? And that was a really popular song.
Yes.
It was a total twist on that song.
Right.
He definitely had his own style, own sound.
Sure.
So there you go. And he had a unique stage presence. Is that what you'd say?
I've never saw him.
He's very twisted and
He
almost
was-
like he's in a body cramp when he's singing a song. I don't know what it
I
was.
would jump up and give him some medicine for having a seizure.
Yeah, he needed some muscle relaxers. Or he was on muscle relaxers.
They were just kicking in.
Oh, man. Something was going on there. I don't know what it was, but he was singing from the soles of his feet up through his body. And on Saturday Night Live, John Belushi would imitate him and do that twisted.
Look.
Yeah, I'll include a link so our young folks can watch Joe Cocker's style. Joe Cocker has passed on to rock and roll heaven. He died in 2014 at the age of 70.
Wow.
And, I think we find that a lot of these rockers die in their 60s and 70s just because they live so hard.
They did live hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you clean up your act later, sometimes the damage is done. I think.
All-nighters and on the road traveling.
Yeah.
'Cause
Cigarette.
in the beginning, they would be on tour. They would have to ride the bus.
Exactly.
They didn't have all the flight here and there like we do today. So traveling makes you weary.
It does. And I'm sure there was some narcotics involved that can do heart damage. You don't even know.
All right.
And cigarettes.
Sure.
Alcohol for breakfast.
Do you think? I don't know. I don't think they. Do you think they do? For
Possibly.
breakfast?
Possibly.
I mean, I've never done beer and cereal.
Oh, I bet they have. They pour beer on their cornflakes.
I guarantee you somebody has. It's not just absolutely.
Yeah. He was from England. Okay, he died from lung cancer in 2014. So it could have been the cigarettes. It said he smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day until he quit in 1991. Sometimes that will fix you up, and sometimes the damage is already done.
That's correct.
It's a hard habit to break. I've never been a smoker. It's never been my thing.
Right.
Or I probably wouldn't be able to quit either. All right, Billy Idol.
Billy Idol.
No, that's kind of in our
Money.
heyday. Yeah. He was a good-looking guy. Very good looking. To me, he was kind of a novelty act.
Definitely was a rebel.
Yeah, definitely. But the mouth, he would pull that
Strong.
Yeah.
Yes.
kind of the Elvis mouth, and it was hard for me to take him seriously.
Right.
Just me personally. I mean, the way I kind of judge music is if I was in the car and a song came on, do I turn it up?
Right.
Do I turn the channel, or do I just leave it as it is?
Right.
I would leave him as it is. I wouldn't change it, but
Right.
I wouldn't
Now,
turn
if
it
it
up.
was money, I'd turn it up.
You like Money Money?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was known for Black Wedding, Rebel Yell, Eyes Without a Face.
That was nice.
Yeah.
That was a different twist on his creativity and artistry, I felt.
The Eyes Without a Face.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a ballad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
think
enjoyed that.
I did too. And I think his artistry would have been taken more seriously if he didn't have like the get up and the gimmick.
Right. Correct.
But maybe he wouldn't have been as successful. But
super singer.
yeah, he made waves. He really did. Which is part of the criteria. He is 69, which hurts my heart. His music genre is considered new wave, punk rock, hard rock, glam. There was some glam rock influence there from David Bowie, probably.
Oh, yeah.
But he's still around. I think he had a child recently, so he's one of those that had a...
He likes to spread, too.
Yeah, he does, but I think he's married. So he
my
married a young'un.
Yeah,
And,
that makes it difficult.
yeah. And he looked great for a while. I thought, what is he doing? He looks so good. But recently he's starting to, what they call age gracefully, quote.
Right.
So he obviously doesn't have an injector nurse.
Well, he might need me.
Speaking of which, totally off topic, but since we know you're an injector nurse, do you have a lot of men clients or?
The majority are women, but yes, I do have several men. As far as the trend, I feel like is changing to where men are now being accepted, whereas it used to be a taboo for even women a long time ago, where and some people still keep it secret, but for the most part, people aren't embarrassed or ashamed that they're doing that. Just the progression and the industry has grown, and the information to people as to why you need to do something to help your face, so that you, just like Billy Idol, they have at their fingertips everything that's out there, and why would they not take advantage of anti-aging? Their face is their, that's their performance, that's who they are, and so I feel like how you represent yourself. So I like hearing that a lot of these people are still looking good, and hopefully all those years of damage didn't happen too much. But yeah, the male population that is accepting Botox and different alternatives for aging are out there. So yeah, they're coming.
Yeah.
People are really hitting. I feel like industries they've got the women.
Yeah.
We're already hooked. We like it. And so when the men actually live with enough people who get Botox, they see how, again, it just makes you look brighter and more rested. It doesn't change you, but it certainly helps you the longevity of making you look good as long as you can.
Yeah. Part of music is the music, but if you're going to concert, you're looking at someone.
You're looking at someone.
Yeah. And maybe it's not fair, but it's more pleasant to look at someone that looks like you remember them. It can be shocking if you see somebody.
Yeah.
They're like, what happened to them? But then they can go too far, and you could say, what have you done to your face? I don't even recognize you. Well, the reason why they did it is because you wouldn't have recognized them because they look so old. It's you can't win really because you can go, but you can go too far. But I think sometimes it can make you look angry when you're not angry if you don't have Botox,
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And even just men in the general population, there's an ageist thing that happens to them too. Executives, you look at a person and think, I don't want to send them out as a salesman to represent my company if they look
Correct.
old and tired and angry.
Old and tired and angry. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah, especially when they're still have energy,
Right.
and they're nice people, they're pleasant people, but they give a wrong impression. And I think you can say, well, that's not fair, but women have been going through that since the beginning of time. So now it's men's turn to have to look good.
Welcome to our world.
Exactly. Exactly. I like the gray hair. I like that.
Yeah, and you can age gracefully and still be so sexy and just, debonair.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, now this I'm at a loss. I've heard of this band, but I don't know any of the music.
Is this another candidate?
Yes, this is Joy Division.
Joy Division. No, I am not familiar with that.
They were formerly known as Stiff Kittens, which I don't like. I guess that means this little kitten had passed away, so it was stiff.
That's all I can get out of it.
And this is part of the punk movement, which is why I don't know. It's post-punk, so it's after like the Sex Pistols.
Yeah, I'm not too punky.
Yeah, years active, 1976 to 1980. So that's only 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that doesn't
qualify.
Yeah, they're from England. Somehow they've got nominated. Maybe they just had such support to do that. But they're very unique sound, and I'll include a link so people can listen to their music. But they were influenced by the Sex Pistols,
Okay.
which I didn't get in on that punk movement.
I didn't either, but I can see that.
Yeah, it was definitely unique. And I did some of the fashion, a little bit of the fashion, like
Yeah.
the safety pins on a skirt or whatever, that kind of thing. But the music was not really my jam.
No.
But we'll see. We'll consider them, possibly. All right, CYNDI LAUPER. Thoughts?
Oh my goodness. Girls just want to have fun. I know my 80s music, don't I?
Yeah. I think everybody knows that song, surely.
Oh, no, wait just a minute. I was just giving myself a compliment and that I knew who that was and what she sang.
Oh, and then I said everybody knows that.
Yes.
No, you know music, girl. You
And
do,
you're
but
like, everybody knows that.
I just mean CYNDI LAUPER's kind of iconic, She can't go by just one name. She can't be just Cindy,
Right.
but she is very iconic.
She is different.
Yeah.
All the way around.
Yeah. Well, she actually had an album called She's So Unusual
Wow.
in 1983. That was her debut album. I remember that video for that song, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. The outfit she had on her hair was
Oh,
crazy.
yes.
You're like, what is this about? What
But
is
it was
happening?
fun.
It was. It really was. She was very kind of spastic acting. And
Yep.
her voice
High
was
energy.
high energy, yeah. She had the Bronx accent, when she
Yes.
spoke.
Yeah.
As a character. And she did some acting too. She's 71.
Wow.
That can't be right.
I know. It does something to you because as you've grown up, you've been through, you learn about these people and they grown up with you.
I know, but we haven't grown older, but they have somehow. I don't know how that happens. Her songs, of course, like you said, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Time After Time, that's one of my favorite.
Yeah.
Not just of her, just songs of all time.
Just a song, yeah.
Yeah. She Bop, I didn't like that. She Bop.
No, that got on my nerves.
Yeah, I was like, what is this about? All Through the Night. All Through the Night.
Yeah.
We can't sing too much or we'll get sued, but that was a beautiful. Her voice is incredible.
Yes.
She's
And you can pick her voice out in a crowd. It's
Yes.
very unique.
Exactly. I want us to do an episode on We Are the World because there's a
Oh.
documentary out now. Maybe I can get you to watch it.
Hello.
How it all came together behind the
That's
scenes.
beautiful
Yeah.
to watch.
And her part.
I
Was-
usually shed a tear every time I watch
Do you?
it.
Oh, good. Then you can
I
watch the
do.
documentary with me and we'll talk about it. Because there's some behind the scenes. Anytime you get that many egos together in a room,
Sure.
you're going to have drama.
Yeah. And why can't I sing this part?
Yeah.
No, I'm
I
singing
don't
this
like that part. Yeah, I want to go first. No, I want to go last. Oh my gosh. I heard they put a sign on the door that said, leave your ego outside. Just to avoid that. But yeah, let's do an episode just
Okay.
on that.
That'd be fun.
And that would be very cool. All right. She's married. She has a child. So she kind of seems grounded to me.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of a scandal with her or a drug problem with her. Although there could be, but married, child, actor. So I feel like she was kind of a businesswoman. I think she was a little older than a lot of people.
Had a little more maturity.
Yes, she knew what she was doing. She wanted to be a businesswoman and be successful, and probably knew this craziness is not going to help me with my career. But I could be totally wrong. She could be a wild child, but I haven't heard it if she was.
I haven't either.
Still around, still active, still healthy as far as I know. So good for her. Icon. Okay, this one is called MARIAH. It's the first Spanish language band nominated. So that's why you probably don't know them. I don't either, but good for them. I mean, that's
Yeah.
a big deal. I'm not trying to skip over them, but I just have never heard their music, and it obviously wasn't widely distributed in the United States. So good luck to them.
If it wasn't widely distributed in the United States, how does that allow them from another country to be in our Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I'm
don't
sorry,
know.
but that's a really, really good question.
It is a good question.
Yeah.
I don't have the answer. I would think maybe Menudo before, because I've heard of Menudo. Wasn't a big fan, but they were Hispanic bands, and I don't know why, but good luck to them.
Moving on. We didn't make the rules.
Oasis.
Not familiar with that either. I'm striking out.
You would know their music, and People would call them kind of a Beatles knockoff, Wonderwall. And after all, you're my Wonderwall.
Okay.
They were brothers and were really jerks. That was their image, like on stage. They, like, we're so cool. That was kind of their gimmick, like, we're just the best. We're better than the Beatles. They would argue on stage, actually get in fights and punch each other on stage.
Oh my goodness.
Liam Gallagher and
I mean, nothing like getting a boxing match when you're at a concert.
Yeah, I mean, it was a show.
Bonus.
Exactly. It was Liam and Noel Gallagher. They're from England. And, they would break up, get back together, break up, get together, but you couldn't deny their music.
They fight on stage.
Yes.
If I was their mama,
She should have banged their heads together and said, get your act together.
Wouldn't have got that far.
And I think they would have been even more successful if they weren't so volatile and cocky.
Right. That turns me off.
Yeah. So they have like a dedicated fan base, but otherwise they're polarizing. And, I'm interested to see if they get in, but they're still performing.
Possible boxing match.
Exactly, on the side. And I think one brother was problematic, and I don't want to say which one because the fans will be like, that's not which one it was. And one of them's kind of normal, like, I've got a crazy brother, what am I supposed to do about it? But I have one of their songs on like the modern version of mixtape where you make a little playlist on Spotify. I have Wonderwall on there, I believe. All right, so Oasis, Diana, keep them in mind. Outcast. Shake it like a Polaroid picture.
Why don't you do some dancing to that there, Dena?
I was just trying to give you a little...
I'll let you get up on this table here.
They're considered Southern hip-hop. They're out of Atlanta also. Andre 3000, you remember him? Mm-hmm. That was fun music. That was kind of like the...
yes, upbeat.
Yeah.
Made you happy.
Yeah, and let's see, was it? Yeah, it was the 90s, early 2000s with, why am I blanking? Fergie, what was that band?
Black Eyed Peas?
Yes, thank you. That was that kind of bouncy, fun, kind of funny lyric music.
So I think it would be fun to do a podcast where you play a little bit of a music, and then I'm supposed to tell you who that is.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
That would be fun.
I
think you would do pretty good.
You're always trying to quiz me and catch me on things.
We could do that. We could see if our listeners could guess it before Diana. Guess it before Diana.
Yeah.
You'd be like,
Remember, did you ever watch Name That Tune?
Yes, I can name that.
I waited, but I was always there an hour early on the floor just to make sure I didn't miss it.
Was that Kathy Lee Gifford that did that?
Show. Did she? I don't. That was so long ago. I don't.
Was it La La's? Like she'd go, la 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 la. She didn't sing the words because then you know it, right? She just did like, da da da, and then the person would buzz in.
Yes, I think that, but that was long ago.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Look it up, kids. It was a good show.
It was a good show. It had a good reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
Name That Tune.
Yeah, there may be a remake of that. I don't know. Anyway, Andre 3000 is who I remember from that band.
Yeah.
Big Boy. I don't know if I could pick out Big Boy in a crowd, but I think I could pick out Andre 3000. Oh, we had the song like, you think you're, I'm going to say poop, your poop don't stink.
That's right. Yeah.
I can't remember the name of that song. Psychedelic rap, Southern hip hop is how they describe themselves. So check them out if you've never heard of them. They've obviously been around for 25 years, which is scary. All right, Fish with a P. Phish.
I've saw that name before, but I'm unfamiliar with their music.
I could not hum their music. I'm aware of them. They're a jam band. I'm not a jam band fan, where they just get up there and play their guitar for a long period of time in between the song lyrics.
Understand.
Yeah. Kind of like Grateful Dead,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Now, I love Dave Matthews Band, and they perform a lot together. Trey Anastasio, I think he made an album with Dave Matthews, but they're kind of a jam band too, but not for me, but mad fan base.
Okay.
This is one of those things where you don't hear their music on the radio, but they have their
way.
Yeah, they're a touring band, I guess you would say.
Yes.
I love their ice cream, Fish Food. Ben and Jerry's is my favorite ice cream.
Oh.
It's got little chocolate fish in it.
Oh.
So I love your ice cream, guys.
I like the crunchy brownie.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. All right, so good luck to fish. And we're also going to look, after we vote, Diana, we're going to look and see who's ahead. She'll show us that, too, after we vote. Okay, we've got 2 more. Soundgarden. The grunge movement.
Oh, yeah, I was never a grunge.
So you just checked out during the grunge?
Total checkout. That was not me.
Do you wear the flannel shirts at all? Or?
Nope.
Okay. I like grunge. I was into it. Soundgarden, Chris Cornell, who passed away not too long ago, also ended his own life. He was such a cute guy, such a powerful voice. That whole era, those people were truly depressed. You know, it wasn't an act. You know, they would sing the music like they were depressed, but they truly had issues for real.
I feel like their emotions, that was their outlet.
Exactly.
To allow them to feel that or to get that out of their body.
Yeah.
But at the end, that was what made the song so entrenched in your you know, like your memory bank or in, you know, your heart. It pulled on your heartstrings.
Yeah.
And I feel like the uniqueness of that is what makes the few that get into this, that's a high honor to even be considered.
I think so too. All those bands came out of Seattle. And, you know, Seattle, there's seasonal depression in Seattle because there's not sunshine, there's rain all the time. It's a real thing.
But again, when you're away from home and you're not grounded, you yes, they probably had families at home. I'm not saying that, but it is difficult to travel, especially back then on the road with a bus. And that's all you're doing for probably 300 days out of 365 days. What's not to be depressed about?
Yeah, exactly. And he was a family man, but he had his demons
Sure.
also and would, you know, go off the wagon, and that would make him disappointed in himself. And
Right.
he loved his wife and his family, but when you're in that dark, dark place, you feel like you're doing them a favor.
Yeah.
You know, you don't realize how you're killing them by doing that. And that's a whole nother topic. It's kind of dark for this episode, but it was a real thing for him.
Yes.
He also had, after Soundgarden, you know, that was back when Nirvana and Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam, I loved Pearl Jam.
Nirvana.
That was, yeah. After that band disbanded, he was also an Audio Slave, Temple of the Dog, had some great hits, and a powerful, one of my favorite voices ever in rock and roll. So
Sounds
I wish
like
him
that might be your vote.
one of my votes. Yeah, we'll combine our vote, and because we can only vote once a day on one computer, so you can pick 3 and I'll pick 4. No, I'm just kidding. You can pick 3, I'll pick 3, and then we'll combine. We'll come together for our 7th choice.
Oh, you get to pick 7.
Yes,
Oh,
and there's
I
14
missed
nominees, so
that.
you pick 7. So that's
Okay.
good.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so Soundgarden.
Why so many?
I don't know. I'm trying to cover different genres, I guess. Okay, and finally, the White Stripes. They were popular 97 to 2011. Meg White and Jack White. They were kind of weird because some people said they were brother and sister. Some people said they were married. Don't know which. As long as they weren't both, it's okay.
Right.
They came out of Detroit. Are you familiar with their music?
I am not.
Very heavy on guitar. I'm trying to think of a song I could sing real quick for you that you might recognize. I know people are screaming at me at home that love them. I enjoy their music because it's just rock, you know. During a time when there was a lot of the Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera and all that, it was like, ooh, here's a guitar band with a... She was the drummer.
Okay.
They were both characters. You know, he had his hair down in his face. He's done some acting, but they were... I just call them characters because they were...
All right. I'll have to look them up.
Yeah, they're considered alternative rock.
I got you.
Punk rock, indie rock, garage rock. So after the grunge, you got into, grunge kind of went away, and you had your alternative rock. So, okay, and that's our final nominee. So you guys listening, who would you vote for? We're going to see what Diana and I decide. So let's go to the voting ballot. I'll include a link on our page for the voting ballot. So you guys can vote. You can vote once a day if you want. If you're feeling really strongly that you want somebody to win, then vote, guys. And I'll include a link so you can vote. Okay, so what we do is they show the pictures and we click, like let's say we clicked on fish. We want turns yellow like that. So,
Okay.
do you know your three off the top of your head, or do you need to look here a second?
I probably need to look.
Okay.
I think Mariah Carey, even though I don't think she should.
You just feel like she deserves. You think she should be in pop.
She's a good singer and
Very talented.
solid. Let's do Billy Idol.
Okay. So Mariah Carey, Billy Idol. You
Chubby
get one more
Checker.
Chubby Checker. Okay, those are Diana's picks. Mariah Carey,
Yay!
Billy Idol, Chubby Checker. I am going to choose Joe Cocker because he's a legend.
Yeah, he was up there for me too.
Soundgarden because I love Chris Cornell.
Okay.
And Cyndi Lauper just because she's a chick. We got to support our chicks.
Got it.
And why don't we do MARIAH just because they're the only
Okay.
Hispanic.
Okay.
They're innovators. They're
Okay.
okay.
Hit it.
All right. We're about to vote.
We're voting, guys. Come
Joe.
on. Join with us.
Joe Cocker, Soundgarden, Cyndi Lauper, Mariah Carey, MARIAH, Billy Idol, and Chubby Checker. We are voting. We can't change it. Here we go. Click.
Ta-da!
Okay, so let's see who's
in the lead?
Yeah, let's see if we agree with the general public here.
I highly doubt that.
Ooh!
Woo!
Okay, let's count up from the bottom.
Ooh.
Okay, so the Chubby Checker is coming in at 7th place with 36,000 votes.
Wow.
Joe Cocker,
Go Joe Cocker.
40,000 votes.
Bad
Company. I
Company.
feel bad we didn't
I feel
vote
bad.
for
I
Bad
was
Company.
about to say the same thing.
Yeah.
Stop taking words out of my mouth.
I mean, they're the soundtrack of our youth, really.
They are. Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah, Cyndi Lauper at
Yeah.
43,000. And you want to do the top three, Diana?
No, because I don't have my glasses on.
Okay. Soundgarden,
Okay.
49,000. Billy Idol, there's yours.
Good morning.
50,000. And believe it or not, currently in the lead by a lot, 81,000. Fish.
How crazy is that?
I told you they had a big base.
Wow. I guess we need to vote every day.
Yes, we do. And I'm going to include Bad Company. And poor little MARIAH is coming in last place.
Is it? I'm glad we voted for them.
Yeah. You Hispanic voters, get out there and support your MARIAH.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm going to include a link to one of their songs.
How fun. This has been a good time.
I think so too. We've gone a little over, but I think it was fun. We had a lot of opinions. I really wanted to talk about, we'll have another episode where we talk about our concert experiences because we've had a lot of good ones.
I think there's a lot of content. Yeah.
Yeah, for concert experiences.
Okay.
We hope you guys enjoyed it. We want you guys to vote. Any final thoughts, Diana?
I just hope everyone has a beautiful day and remember to see the beauty within you.
Oh, nice. And listen to some music. It makes every menial task better.
Yeah. Whatever kind that you like is fine.
Exactly. Join us on Sunday for Giggles and Gratitude. And we love you guys. I love you, Diana.
Love you too, hon. Bye-bye, guys. See you next time.
We would love to hear from you.
Leave your questions or comments on our voicemail by visiting our website at denaanddia.com. Your message may be played on the show.
You can find our Instagram and Facebook links there too.
Again, that's denaanddia.com. Thanks
Thanks
for
for
listening.
listening.